I'm just working on my summer to-do list. I hope you don't mind if I interrupt the party for a moment. I'm away at UW La Crosse today attending the UW Student Union's directors meetings. And when I found out that Ann's retirement party was the same day, I almost canceled my trip. I mentioned this to Ann and she said that would be silly. I should go to my meetings in La Crosse. However, I just couldn't let the moment pass without taking the opportunity to say a few kind words about my colleague Ann Thies. Is it almost like I'm here? I started working with Ann when I arrived in the summer of 2000, so I guess that means I've been around for about half of Ann's career at Stout. For my first 7 years at Stout, I was the orientation and events coordinator, and that means I got to work with Ann on booking bands and other entertainment for UDS special events. Most notably, the band for the Great American Cookout. Early on, I soon learned that Ann and I had, different styles. I guess I tend to score more towards the peace side of Myers-Briggs, and let's face it, is off the charts, J. Booking the entertainment for the Great American Cookout seemed to be the most challenging part of my yearly UDS bookings. Ann had pretty exacting standards for what she wanted for the Great American Cookout band. How much she wanted to spend, the length of time she wanted the band to perform, the space they would get in the Commons if we got rained out, how many meal tickets and for what value the band would get, the quantity of the band ideas she wanted me to generate for her student managers to review, the quantity of the band ideas she wanted after her student managers didn't like any of the bands on the first list. It was quite the process. The emails would start early in April and would be continuous each and every month right up to the performance in September, with a couple of follow-up emails a week after the gig for good measure. I remember telling Bill Sadecki that Ann was driving me a little batty with the Great American Cookout band booking. My God, Bill, it's a $500 cover band. Bill's advice, you better get used to it and get over it. You need to know that Ann is going to give her fullest effort into everything she does. She wants to give the students the best event she can for the best value. And if she needs to drag you along by your ear to get it done, she will. Okay, well, gee, thanks Bill for that sage advice. So the Great American Cookout band booking process went on like this for 5 years. In the July of the 6th year, I guess I sort of snapped. I sent Ann a polite but yet firm 865-word email, complete with a 5-point analysis of band booking challenges, and also with references to MTV and Woodstock. I don't know, I was having a mental episode. In the end, I asked Ann for this. With that being said, I ask you to trust me from time to time. Ann replied, I have it right here, at 2:27 p.m. on July 19, 2006. It was a Wednesday. She thanked me for my professional expert advice. She said that we had the same goal and we were on the same page when it came to doing what was right for the students. And she said, I do trust you, and I'm looking forward to working and learning from you too. Well, I think that was a turning point for Ann and me, and it's a good thing because in a few short years, Ann and I were in the trenches together in the design process and eventually the construction phase of the MSC renovation. Wow, you couldn't find anyone better than Ann to be in that foxhole. Ann and I got to play a lot of good cop, bad cop in a ton of meetings. And believe me, we got equal time as to which cop role we played. We pushed and challenged architects and DFD and system capital and planning and our friends in physical plant and contractors and subcontractors. And without a doubt, we pushed and challenged each other. And that's okay, because we trusted each other and we both had the same goal. It was about the students now and in the future. I've gotten to know Ann really well during and since that time. Ann is a marvel professionally and personally. It's quite the story. A small town farm girl comes to Stout, gets a degree, comes back to Stout as a cook, and within 6 years is director of the department. Then 6 years later, oversees the merger of MSC Retail Dining with the board operations into one department, accomplishing this task with her trusted colleague, Jim Sells. I tried to do the math on it, but it is some really high-level calculus. So in my best guess, Ann is overseeing a department that has served 25 million meals during her career. But Ann would be the first one to tell you that it isn't about her, and it's about her staff, and it's about her students, and it's about being a team. Ann is demanding, firm, and fair with her team, and they appreciate and respect her for it. I was once told by an HR director that when employee unions were in place here at Stoup, they never had zero issues that came from UDS. Ann read the contract, respected the terms of the contract, and let her staff know that she knew the terms of the contract, and held everyone accountable while being fair and developing a team approach. Something to remember when employee unions do return to Stoup, and they will. I don't know if Ann's staff will ever fully know this, but I've been in behind the scenes meetings with Ann, and she will go to bat and has gone to the mat for her staff. I've seen her fight hard to make sure that her staff were being treated fairly and respected. Ann's been a great mentor to many on her team, and she is really invested in developing her pro staff as well as her student staff. She wants them to have good opportunities to grow within their roles, and this is probably grounded in her gratitude and respect that she has for some key people in her career. She hasn't forgotten people like Harry Alpert, and will always have a place in the heart for Pookie. Of course, all of her efforts on every level are all about serving the students. Ann is the real deal. She's a steward. Ann wants to provide students with quality dining experiences at a good value. Ann sees her department within a bigger picture. She wants to keep costs contained within her sphere of influence because she wants students from small towns and modest means to be able to afford college and get a degree. Higher ed in general could learn from Ann. Over the years, I've gotten to know the personal side of Ann, and she can be a hoot. Did you know that Ann is a woo on the Strength Finder assessment? She is, no doubt about it. She loves a good story and loves to laugh. Ann loves the garden. Ann was an avid skier with many, many trips up to the Upper Peninsula. Ann loves her time at Madeline Island and has made many great friendships up there. Ann loves and is really proud of her two sons. Ann, I hope you had a good Mother's Day yesterday. Ann was a hockey mom at one time, and when I've been whining about shuttling my kids to their activities, she has shared key advice of just enjoying these moments because they grow up quickly. Speaking of Ann's sons, and I don't know if they're here today, but she is really quite interested in being a grandmother. No pressure, but I do think Ann will excel at that role. Ann is also proud of her husband, his business, his creations, and she respects his artist personality. Speaking of her husband, after 3 beers in Lincoln, Nebraska, we learned that Ann first kissed her future husband somewhere in Price Commons. Now that could be a historic marker we could work into the renovation. Speaking of beers, it was also at Lincoln that I learned that Ann and I share a love of dark beers, especially chocolate porters, and you can't go wrong with that. I want to close by saying that I've learned a lot from Ann and about how to run an department, how to hold people accountable, how to treat them fairly, how to care about people personally, and of course, how to stay focused on the mission, which is always students first. My relationship with Ann is really a good example of how people with different styles and perspectives can work together, finding common ground, sharing common goals, by respecting and trusting each other. I want to thank my colleague and friend, Ann Thies, for everything I've gained from her. And I wish you a great retirement. I look forward to sampling some of your honey, also known as the sweet rewards of retirement. Thank you and good luck. That's all. Thank you for the time. And now I gotta get back to my summer list.